I'm Brent, and this is the Bible Unplugged. This is a brief bonus episode, a listener letter really, because we're stepping into a new year, and I want to take a few minutes to tell you where this podcast is headed next. First, thank you for being here. Whether you've listened from the beginning or you found the show recently, I'm grateful. I've heard from many of you over the past few months, and a common theme keeps coming up. The only disappointment is when the closing music starts. I wish there was more. I want you to know I've taken that to heart. So today I want to preview a new rhythm for the Bible Unplugged starting in January. Let me tell you the why first, because the why matters more than the details. Most of our lives are loud. We're bombarded with news, notifications, expectations, and the pressure to keep up. Even good things, work, family, or ministry, can pile up until we feel like we're always behind. If we're not careful, we start doing our spiritual lives the same way. We rush through a Bible story, we grab a quick lesson, we try to squeeze God into the cracks of a busy schedule. But Scripture doesn't move that way. God doesn't usually shout. He speaks, He nudges, He leads. And a lot of what He does doesn't happen in a moment. It happens over time. So, here's the change. I'm going to build a little more space into the show. This isn't about adding content just to add content. It's not about turning the Bible Unplugged into something complicated. It's about creating space for the truth to settle, space for God to speak, space for you to breathe. Starting in January, I'm going to shift into a 7-week cycle of episodes that I'm calling a Sabbath cycle. Here's what that means in plain language. Episodes will be a little longer. The Bible stories we're exploring deserve time, so instead of the typical 7 to 8 minutes, most episodes will be closer to 15 to 20 minutes. Episodes will align with the devotions and books. This new 7-week cycle will match up with the theme of the devotional material and spiritual growth books available at powerloveandmiracles.com. The episodes won't duplicate. They will expand on the themes. Episodes will feel more spacious. Same Bible research, same unplugged approach, pulling back the layers, clearing up misconceptions, and noticing details people miss, but with a little more time to make connections and bring it home. There will be intentional moments of quiet, not because I ran out of things to say, not because of a recording glitch, but because sometimes the most spiritual thing we can do is stop talking and listen. Now, I want to be careful here. I'm not going to turn the show into a meditation app. This will still be a Bible-focused teaching podcast. But I do want to introduce a simple rhythm that helps us move from information to formation, to allow the meaning of the Scripture to settle in our souls. Let me tell you what isn't changing, because I don't want anyone to feel like they're about to lose what they've loved about this show. This is still the Bible Unplugged. We're still going to examine the text and follow what it actually says. We're still going to look at content, background, and meaning. We're still going to call out mistranslations and misunderstandings when they matter. And we're still going to bring it down to real life, how faith works when life is messy. Same heart, same voice, same commitment, just a better pace. Beginning in January, starting with episode 70, I'm going to focus on a theme that I believe will be both meaningful and timely: hidden heroes of Holy Week. Not the famous ones, not the people who always get the spotlight, but the overlooked, the unexpected, the unassuming people God used in the greatest story ever told. At the same time, I'll be developing a companion book and devotional project based on the theme of people in the Bible we don't normally consider as heroes. The first volume will focus on the background characters of Holy Week and what we can learn from them. So, the podcast and the writing are going to move together without overwhelming you. And the Sabbath cycle is going to help with that. Instead of feeling like we're speeding up, it's going to feel like we're settling in. Here's my invitation as we start the new year. Don't just let the episodes run as background noise. Use them, learn from them, try listening in a different way. Maybe as you listen on a walk, instead of moving to the next podcast, you sit for a minute afterward. Maybe you listen while you're doing chores, and instead of multitasking through the ending, you pause and let one sentence stay with you. You don't have to listen perfectly. You don't have to take notes. You don't have to do anything extra. Just come with an open heart, because God does a lot of His best work in the quiet places. As always, I hope this has been helpful. If so, please give this podcast a high rating and share it with someone who needs encouragement. And starting in January, I'll be back with a lot more and at a better pace. My prayer for you is that you would let God meet you in the ordinary moments of your day, release the pressure to carry everything alone, and receive the gift of a slower, steadier faith. Have a blessed week. Just to let you know, all opinions are my own. If you agree, keep listening. If you don't, keep listening. I might surprise you with something you didn't know. All Bible quotations come from the World English Bible, which is a public domain work. Our show theme song is Awesome Call by Kevin MacLeod and used under Creative Commons license. The content of this podcast is copyrighted 2025 by Brent, Eaton, and this has been a Power, Love, and Miracles production.